Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Mondays with me. We are going to talk about today, I'm just doing a cozy shirt and just kind of here as I am usually. We are going to talk today about building that portfolio, and I'm trying something new. I'm doing a vertically oriented video so that I can upload this video to my IGTV as well, so that you'll be able to watch it in multiple places. I'm kind of trying things out, trying to see if I want to use YouTube more for videos or IGTV or whatever we got going on, all the different platforms. So I'm just trying them all out to see what works better. So welcome as I see everybody joining. I'm just kind of trying to get this all set up here. I hope everybody had a fabulous weekend. If anyone here is from Canada, I hope you had a great Canada Day. And I know many of us here in America are getting ready to celebrate 4th of July. So it's kind of a fun, festive week. Hi guys, welcome. Welcome. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are all doing well. I feel like I need like better light in here. I should probably deal with that when I'm doing these Facebook Lives. So as promised, guys, I'm doing a good job keeping up with my promise and showing up here every Monday. And today I want to talk about portfolios and building your portfolio. And I'm going to share with you how I built my portfolio and just talk a little bit about that because I see so many people struggle with it. I see a lot of people making mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. But a lot of what I did was pretty effective too. And so, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you guys about some of that, okay? So I hope everybody has coffee and is ready to get going on this. Okay. Hey, Bree, what's up, girl? All right, so I wanted to tell you the things that I did to build my portfolio that I think are really important to build your portfolio and why it's important to focus on building your portfolio. So I'm gonna back up for a second and say that the reason that this video came about is because a lot of people in my business groups and in my mentorships and things that I, in workshops, they're wondering about their website and they're wondering why they're not booking clients. And when I take a peek at their website and their portfolio, it's super obvious that they haven't taken the time to build a proper portfolio and to have their best work online and to attract the right clients. And that is a big mistake that a lot of us make, is that while we're starting out, we don't take the time to build a portfolio. What we want, when we first go into business, of course, is to make money, and we start thinking about, well, what should I be charging? I don't feel like I'm good enough to charge what I want. I don't feel like this is worth my time. It starts to become like a, chasing your tail type of thing. Well, the truth of the matter is that if you don't take the time to build a proper portfolio, to get in the practice that you need to have a proper portfolio, then it's going to be hard to really have that solid business foundation. So one of the first things that you need to do is you need to take the time to build your portfolio. And there's no shame in that, guys. We all started with zero portfolio. Like when you're first starting out, you don't have a portfolio. That's just how it goes. So I'm going to talk to you about how I built mine. I see that Bree's on here, and I know that she had, and I have very similar philosophies on portfolio building. And yeah, so we're going to go from there. So the first thing that I'm going to say, and it's going to blow, some people are like, don't believe this. They think that you should always be accepting money for any time that you do a shoot. But when you're new and you are trying to get practice, I absolutely feel like it is a good idea to do shoots for free when you're first starting out. So, and you guys know me, like I teach business. I think it's super important to make money when you're in business, but when you're building your portfolio, you need practice. So the reason that somebody like me who's been in business for a long time has a portfolio that looks really strong, yeah, it's because I know how to use my camera and know how to use my light. But I would say that the number one reason that my portfolio is so good and is at the level that it's at is because I've had a lot of practice. That's it. I do 100 to 150 shoots a year. So a lot of practice is what is going to get you better. You have to get out there and work. And so when I was first starting out, I literally photographed like every friend and family that I could get my hands on. Every family in my immediate family. I went out through like my preschool groups and photographed all of my kids, friends, families for free. And there's, Chase Jarvis, this is a creator of Creative Live, who I admire as a business person. He has said in multiple talks, do it for free or do it for full price. And I really think that that's true. And so Bree and I will always say that, when we're doing something new, trying something out in our business, we'll offer a free shoot, even at this stage in our business, because it's a great way to get practice. It's a great way to do something without feeling like you're trying to please someone else. Yeah, it's a hustle. In the very beginning, when you're building that portfolio and you're doing stuff for free, it can seem like a thankless job, but you need a solid online portfolio before you can start charging. And it needs to be high quality work. And that takes practice. And in order to get practice, you have to go out and find it. So when you're new and you're trying to build your portfolio, you're not going to really get a ton of attention or inquiries from people that don't know about your business. Yes, you should still be building your SEO and you should still be building your social media strategy. We're not going to talk about that today. We will talk about that in coming weeks. But you have to get practice, and you have to have a solid portfolio, and you have to seek out those people. So start with friends and family. That's what I did. And then if that's not working, do model calls. People love to have free photos taken. So put a model call out on social media and get people in front of your lens, okay? So you gotta get out there and get practice. Like I said, those of us Bree, who is really great at weddings, I keep bringing her up because she popped in. My friend Chloe's on here. She's a phenomenal family and wedding photographer. It's because we've really honed in on our skills, but it's also because we've photographed so many different subjects and so many families and received a lot of practice. So that's my first tip to you, is you need to go out and do shoots for free to build your portfolio. It's just the way that it goes. Sure, if you feel more comfortable, I know I see people out there that recommend, say, if you wanted to charge $500, then you're saying, well, I'm only going to do this session for $250 because it's a portfolio building session. I actually don't really recommend doing that. I feel like that devalues your business and it devalues your craft. I think when you actually just go out and do some for free and build that portfolio, then when you're ready to charge, you can go full force and charge exactly what you need to make a profit. Okay? Does anyone have any questions about that? While I'm, because I'm just writing a bunch of stuff or talking about a bunch of things. Hey guys, do me a favor too. If you think that this is relevant content for your people, please share this live video while we're live. I would so greatly appreciate that. It helps us to get more viewers. Facebook likes a lot of engagement, and I would love for you guys to share it, because I really am trying to help as many photographers as I can succeed in this industry, because it is a life-changing thing when it happens. So if you can share, that would be great. So please feel free to share this. I would greatly appreciate it. And anyway, and we'll move on to the next tip. Does anyone have any questions about doing shoots for free? Because I know that sort of blows people's minds sometimes. And that kind of goes contrary to what a lot of other photographers advise. I don't think you're undercutting. Trust me, you're not taking my business if you're doing a shoot for free in my area. I'm not taking someone else's business if I'm doing a shoot for free. If your business isn't working, it has nothing to do with underpriced competition. It's okay to do a shoot for free while you're building your portfolio. Okay, so how do you recommend showcasing your portfolio on a website? So that's a great question. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I'm going to talk about that in just a second and get a little more specific. And yes, my kids are home, guys, so they may come. Oh, peace.
Can we watch? Do you want?
Nope. Go upstairs and play, please. Bye, because it's too loud. I need you to go upstairs. Yeah, well, go upstairs and play. It's because you were ignoring him. Goodbye. Go. Sorry. Nope. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry, moving on. So we're going to talk about how to showcase it in a second. So the second thing that I want to tell you about building your portfolio, welcome to Working Home Moms, you guys. The second thing that I want you to know about building your portfolio is that you need to only seek out what you want to be photographing. So if you're building your portfolio and you are wanting to be a family photographer, yet you're taking a bunch of weddings, that's not going to help you build your family portfolio. Or say you want to be a newborn photographer, yet you're out there taking a bunch of high school seniors, seeking out high school seniors. That's not going to build your portfolio. So build your portfolio based on what you actually want to photograph. Now, if you're new and you don't know what you want to photograph, absolutely go out and try many different genres. That's a great way to get started. But most people kind of, by the time they're ready to really build their portfolio, they know what they want to specialize in, or at least have an idea. seek those out. Seek out those specific genres. This sounds really obvious, but I see a lot of people. I just was looking at a friend who's building her business's portfolio, and she was saying, I get all of these. She notices that she has a lot of web traffic, so her SEO is actually doing really well, but she's not getting inquiries. And she's like, I don't understand. Well, I looked and I said, well, it's not real clear what she does. Her portfolio was all over the place, and she wants to be doing this documentary style family photography, yet there was like no documentary family photography pictures on her website. Yeah, so the verbiage was talking about documentary, but yet the pictures didn't represent that. So you want to make sure that what you're going out and seeking to build your portfolio is actually what you want to be photographing. This sounds obvious, I know, but it happens a lot that people are not actually putting in their portfolio what they want to photograph. So you need to do that. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to tell you about your portfolio, what's up, Sandra, is that it needs to be your best work. And when you're new and you're starting, and we all start somewhere, our best work is not as good as it's going to be in 5 years, right? But there is no reason to ever put a subpar image on your portfolio. Your portfolio needs to be your absolute best work, okay? And it needs to be consistent. So that's where we're going back to tip number 1. You need practice. You need to get out there and photograph as many people as you can in the genre that you want to specialize in, so that you can build a hardy portfolio full of high quality images. Okay? So there's no reason to put subpar work in your portfolio. I think a lot of people do this because maybe you have a shoot and you feel like that client is gonna like want you to sorry, Sandra's sending me text messages. I think you might think that client might notice if you don't have if you didn't put their pictures in the portfolio. That's just not true. Don't worry about it. You need to make sure that the only thing that you put in your portfolio is your best work, okay? All right, can you have more than one category to specialize in your portfolio? Yes, absolutely. That's fine. I do think the more specialized, I will tell you that as a business person, the more specialized you can be, the better. That being said, I photograph families and newborns and maternity and schools. So I have 4 different things. My school stuff, it's all separate portfolios. And if you want to photograph family and seniors, then you need 2 different portfolios that are both robust. So you're going to need a really great senior portfolio, and you're going to need a really great family portfolio. So you have to have all of them done. Riches are in the niches. It's true. The riches are in the niches, and that's Sandra and I really know that to be true. But family and senior high school seniors kind of go hand in hand, so that's okay. Okay, so I believe that every portfolio needs to have, I think, at least 20 photographs that are super high quality, but really 40 is what I think the magic number is. I think you need to have at least 40 photos in your portfolio to A, say that you're an expert in that field, B, be able to show the people that you can create, that you're trying to attract, that you can create consistent work, and C, that you can have some robust variety in your portfolio. So you need a lot of photographs in your portfolio, I think, for it to be up to snuff, okay? And so what I do, here's a little tip to keep your portfolio up to date. So that my next tip is that I want you to keep your portfolio up to date. So I will mentor people or people that come to my workshops, and they will say, I don't know, I'm not booking clients. And then they send me a portfolio to look at, like through a Dropbox link that's full of really great stuff. And then I look at their website, and their website is like super out of date. It's your job to keep your portfolio up to date. You can't expect somebody to just assume that your work is good. You have to be the one that's showing this work on any online platform, but we're talking particularly about your actual formal portfolio on your website. And so what I do is I have a folder on my desktop, and every time I do a shoot, I try to push a few images into that folder. It's called Portfolio, so that whenever I'm ready to update my portfolio, it's super easy. I can just grab them right from that folder, and they're ready to go. So that's just like a little quick time-saving tip about portfolio updating, because by the way, updating your portfolio takes a lot of time. Like it can be really hard to like go through your archives and figure out what you want to put on there. But if you have that little desktop portfolio folder, it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so somebody asked me how the best way to display a portfolio online. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. I prefer a grid. I think that that's the way that we are viewing things right now as consumers. The old style was that, like the gallery that kind of switched. Nobody's really taking the time to spend on a website anymore. In those, like, sometimes they do, but really people don't want to sit there and watch a gallery scroll. So my opinion is that a grid is quicker and is more efficient and is kind of what people are looking for. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for me about this? I just gave you some tips about building that portfolio. What I want you to know too is that it takes time. Nobody is an overnight success. Nobody came out the gate with a beautiful portfolio. You guys, it takes a long time. But the more you do it, the quicker it's going to happen. So like there's, those photographers that do 365s, project 365s, you see them get really good really fast. It's because they're using their camera every day. So I never did that. I'm not a daily shooter like that. But when I was starting out, you guys, I photographed as many families and newborns as I could get my hands on. I was relentless. It was ruthless. So like if I saw somebody was pregnant, like a friend of mine on Facebook, I'd be like, hey, can I do your maternity photos? Like I sought out opportunity, and I want you to do that too. Okay. All right. Yes. The grid style is a good way to display your portfolio. Does anyone else have any questions for me? Now that I'm sitting here. Oh, okay. Yeah, so someone asked about having a contract for free photos. Is that beneficial? You need to have so if you're going to be out there building, okay, that's a great question. If you're going to go out there and be doing shoots for free, you need a contract with a model release so that you know that you can use those photos. Because what's the point? I guess you'd be getting practice, but you want to be able to use those photos on your portfolio and building your brand. So yes, you need a model release every time anytime you use somebody's photo for anything, you need a signed model release. It's not legal not to. So don't do that. So in the beginning, when I was just starting out, Brooke, I sought people out individually. I never really did a lot of model calls. I was, I was a young mom. I was in my, late 20s, and I had little babies. And so I had a lot of friends in my community that had kids. And so I was able to reach out to those people. But model calls work really well as well. But I am a very forward person. So I am not afraid to reach out to people. Like that is not, hard for me. But if you want people to come to you, a model call is great. I find that reaching out to friends and family is a great way to build your portfolio. Like we all know people, you guys. So just like, don't be afraid to be like, hey, I'm starting this photography business. I think that's why we're afraid to do it. Actually, now that I just said that, it came out of my mouth. I can see where that can be scary, where you're kind of doubting yourself as an artist. You don't really feel confident in what you're doing. And so you kind of feel like embarrassed saying like, hey, I'm starting this photography business. I really need to practice, but you got to get over that and you got to get out there and do it. Okay. Nadine, do I have a template for making the grids? I don't need a template. My website provides that. So my website is like the grid is a option on my website, and you just put the photos in and it makes the grid. So it's not a template. It's not something you do before and then bring onto your website. That's how my website displays the photographs. Did I work with people that I wasn't friends with? When in the very beginning, sorry, that was like my chicken was going crazy outside. In the very beginning, I almost only photographed people that I knew. And that was just because it was easy for me. But I did, I like now, for instance, when I'm teaching classes, I do, is somebody laughing? Did you guys hear my chickens? Like, talk about city freaking farming. So now that I am, like teaching classes, I do model releases all the time, and they work really well. So, I often do that. I don't use WordPress. I use Squarespace. So, but WordPress I think has a grid. I'm sure WordPress has a grid option as well because it's so popular now. Okay. Did anybody share? I want you guys to share. You guys laughing at my chickens? Isn't that crazy? I want you guys to share this on your page, okay? Share this video so that we can get more outreach that way. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? I'm trying to see them on multiple platforms here, and I feel like... All right. I don't think so. Okay. So what I want you to do, takeaway here, you guys, is get out there and practice. And also, I want to say that, like, if you are changing your direction, so like a couple of years ago, I remember when we talked last week about Lifestyle Newborn, when I went from Pose Newborn to Lifestyle Newborn, I needed to build that portfolio, and I did free shoots to build it. So that was just 4 years ago. I was like well established in my business, making, you know, a significant income, and I was still doing free shoots because I wanted to build my portfolio in that specific area. When I first started offering Fresh 48 sessions, I did 5 for free. So you need to build your portfolio. You can't offer something and expect something to come buy something from you if you don't have any proof that you're an expert at it. If you don't have a robust portfolio that says that you know what you're doing. Christine, I designed my own website with Squarespace. It's really user-friendly. I'm new to this community. So I am new to this community. How do I get people to shoot? Do you have, like when you start, I don't know if you have young children, if they're in preschool, you can ask the parents of their preschool friends. If you are in any local Facebook groups, you can ask there. If you're in local Facebook photography groups, I see in my local Facebook photography groups all the time people say like, hey, I'd love to photograph someone's family. Can we do a swap? Can we do a trade? Go out there and just ask people. Ask your neighbors, ask your teachers, don't be afraid to hear no. Most people want free photos, which is the cool thing. How do you transfer attention from your Facebook portfolio to your website portfolio? That's a great question. And that is social media marketing, which Sandra and I, Sandra Cohn, who's on here too, my other business partner, I've got 2 business besties. We teach social media strategy. So make sure you're in our Lady Boss Workshops group because we talk about these kind of things a lot. But the way that you transfer them there is by serving them with really good quality content and then sharing links to your website. And so you can't just drop links anywhere on Facebook. That doesn't work. But you have to invite them onto your website. And it has to be an invitation that they want to take. So you have to give them a reason to want to go there. And that can be with a great blog post. And so you share what that blog post is going to be about. That can be about telling a story about a certain session and you want to get them over to your portfolio. So that's how. You need to invite them over. You're empty nested. Oh, okay. Well, so have you photographed your children's families? Have you photographed their friends' families? You just think outside the box. Like, you know people who need photographs. I mean, unless you're living like on an isolated island and you have no one around you, there are people around you that need photographs. How long did it take me to build my portfolio the first time around? I know you have kids. I have a 2-year-old and my time is limited. So when I started my business, I had a 3-year-old and a newborn. And that was when I decided to build my portfolio. And I didn't have any more time in my day. I was also working 24 hours a week as a registered nurse, and my ex-husband was working 60 hours a week. And so how did I do it? I got help. So I would ask my sisters to watch my kids. I would pay a babysitter, and I would just go out there and I would photograph at least once or twice a week, probably families right in the beginning with a newborn. And I would sit there learning how to edit while breastfeeding. I mean, you guys, this was a hustle. It is when you're first starting. How long did it take me to build my portfolio? So my portfolio grew and changed a lot in those first couple of years, but I would say that I had a pretty robust portfolio in about a year. And it wasn't good. Like my first year, I wish that I, could keep track of that. Like it was fine, but it wasn't nearly as good as it is now. That's fine. That's where I was in that stage of my journey, that season of my life. And I just kept practicing and getting more and more practice. But I started charging after about, after about 9 months of building my portfolio, probably. There is no magic formula. That was me. You might be ready in 3 months. You might take a year. It just depends on when you have a solid portfolio that you feel like is going to serve somebody. You need to be able to give value to other people. So you need to know that what you're providing for someone is a good quality, valuable photograph. What's the best way to set up a model call and request multiple ethnic backgrounds? That's a good question. I personally would never request a certain ethnic background. That's just, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. I don't think that that's wrong for you to do it. I mean, I'm a 100% Hispanic. I photograph all different ethnicities. But I would say that's touchy. I don't know how to advise you on asking for a certain ethnic background. I would say maybe putting the model call out into groups where different ethnic backgrounds might hang out. I do my model calls on Facebook, 100%, and they work great. Hi, guys. Okay. How do you encourage people to be more open to photo shoots that require a bit more effort for them, like a family outing, ice cream shop, camping, etc., or a mountaintop engagement pictures? So, well, if that's what you want to specialize in, then that is a totally different genre. That's like documentary or the engagement sessions that are on mountaintops. Like, you're talking about like a really wide range of things. The people who do engagement sessions on mountaintops, that's like what they specialize in. They do adventure photography. And so how do you get people to be interested in that? Well, if you mean like people that you're going to be doing it for free, well, that's what you put in the model call. You say, hey, I am looking for a couple who's willing to hike to the top of this mountain so I can photograph them. Great. If you want that in people to come to you for that, well, then that's all you can show on your website. Plain and simple. Like that's what your portfolio needs to say. It needs to say, I am an adventure photographer, or I am a documentary photographer. So that's a specific niche. And it could be profitable, but you need to have a lot of it to show. I'm struggling with getting inquiries to model calls. I put them out there, but no one gets back to me. Well, have you asked people directly? That's kind of what I was saying at the beginning here. If you're having trouble with model calls, then have you actually like just went and asked somebody you knew if you could photograph them? Because that's a great way to do it too. That I would say that's like my best recommendation. My friend Bree, will like seek out a couple specifically and be like, hey, I'd love to photograph you guys. You guys, there's no shame in doing that. So get out there and do it. Like, this is Pride Month, and I wanted to photograph a gay and lesbian couples, because I want to show that I absolutely support love is love is love, because I do. And so I put a model call out for it. I said I was going to give away 2 free sessions for that. And I got it. So I guess that's, with diversity, someone was asking me about that. And I got a ton of inquiries. So, see, I'm still doing them for free. I still do stuff for free, you guys. I make a lot of money on this business, and that's how I build my portfolio, because then it's more robust and I'm able to provide more value because I can show myself as the expert in that area. All right. Does anyone else have any questions about building their portfolio? I'm going to be on here for like 2 more minutes and make sure that like my chicken didn't just get eaten by something, because holy moly, you guys. I don't know what was going on out there, but it sounded a little dramatic. Okay. I'm a bit new. I love variety, even though I know it's not niche. What are the technical names for different categories, like adventure photography? You're going to have to call it what you want to call it. So there isn't a technical name. What I would say is that what you need to do is you need to identify what your ideal client is going to call it. So, I can't tell you what to call it. I call mine family photography and newborn photography. I am a lifestyle photographer, but mostly photographers know that definition, right? My potential client connects to is the work, the feeling behind the work. So it's up to you what you want to call it. But I think what is more important is that you have, that you have a lot of examples of that particular genre that you want to attract. So you can boost your Facebook posts for your model call targeting that audience. I just did it and it worked. Good idea, Helen. I don't usually boost posts for my portrait business, but that's a great idea. What platform do you use for your portfolio? I use Squarespace. I just purchased and watched your Creative Life course about hosting families, and I want to thank you. Oh, it was the best class you've ever purchased. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me to hear you say that. Oh, shoot. You're welcome. I'm happy to help. All right, you guys, so what you can do if you love these videos, thank you for the compliment, is to share it right now. Share it on your page, because that helps me get seen. And to make sure you join our Facebook group if you're not already in it. You can see on the side here of my profile, my page is a place to join the group, and we have lots of activity in there right now. So join us, and make sure to share this and comment and like and do all of the things. I'm going to upload it to IGTV as well. I hope you guys are going to have a great week. Happy Canada Day. Happy 4th of July. And yeah, make sure you're in that Facebook group and just get out there and practice. And here's another thing. Be patient with yourself. These things take time. We're always evolving as artists, okay? You're never a done deal. There's no end. This is a journey, okay? So be patient with yourself, but take the time to build that portfolio, because don't think that you should be an overnight, like have this like rockin' portfolio in a couple of weeks when you just got started with this idea. Like take your time, and then also take the time to restructure it. Something's not working for you. You're realizing you don't like this style that you're in, or that you're not using light as creatively as you used to, or whatever. Feel free to change it, but make sure that it's consistent. What you're displaying is consistent, and make sure that you're getting a lot of practice. Okay? All right, you guys, have an excellent week, and I'll see you next Monday.